Welcome to this mono movement practice that is going to be focused on increasing the fluidity in your pelvis, in your hips, as well as bringing more awareness into your womb space for softening and healing. So we're going to start in a seated position and closing your eyes. And just taking some nice deep breaths down into the body. Inhaling through the nose, feeling a sense of expansion through the body. And exhaling through the mouth, feeling a sense of softening, of grounding into presence. And just continuing with this long breath on your own, inhaling through the nose, expansion, opening, exhaling through the mouth, softening, grounding. And as you continue breathing like this, go ahead and take your hands and rub them together. Feeling the warmth between your hands. And then placing them over your womb. Just sending that heat down into your womb space. Breathing into the center of creativity. Breathing softness and openness into the womb. And just bringing your awareness to the space. And the invitation for this practice is to continue inviting in softness and openness into the womb, increasing the flow, and allowing that fluidity to move through the pelvis and the hips, opening, softening, releasing tension. And on your next inhale, go ahead and open the arms wide, breathing in. Exhaling, floating the arms down in front of the body. Inhaling, pulling the arms up through the center channel from the earth all the way up to the sky. Exhaling, fountaining, softening the arms down. Inhaling, pulling up from the earth through the root, all the way through the length of the body, expanding up through the crown to the sky. Exhaling, softening down. We're going to do this 6 more times. Inhaling up from the earth, through the roots, through the pelvis and the womb, up through the length of the body, expanding through the crown. Exhaling, softening down. And closing your eyes, just going at your own pace. Feeling the energy being pulled up from the earth, through the root, through the pelvis, up through the length of the body, and then fountaining back down. Nice long inhale, expanding up and out. Long exhale, softening down. Let's do 2 more like this. Inhaling, pulling up. Exhaling, softening down. Inhaling, pulling the breath through the pelvis, through the womb, all the way up through the crown. Exhaling, softening down, bringing the hands to the knees. This time as we inhale, just lifting the chest and the head up to the sky. Exhaling, bowing down to the earth. Inhaling, same thing, pulling the energy up from the earth, through the pelvis, womb, up through the length of the body, expanding up through the crown. Exhaling, bowing down. Inhaling, rolling up through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, expanding all the way up, arching up to the sky. Exhaling, bowing down. 3 more times like this. Inhaling, pulling up, rolling through the spine. Exhaling, bowing down. Long breath on the inhale. Releasing on the exhale. 1 more time. This time inhaling back up to a neutral position. And as we exhale, I'm going to curl the spine. dropping the head, tilting the pelvis forward. Inhaling, arching the pelvis back, arching the spine, lifting the head. Exhaling, curling, tilting the pelvis forward. Inhaling, tilting the pelvis back. And so I'm focusing on the arch and the curl of the spine and through the pelvis and the hips. So with the exhale, I'm tucking the pelvis forward. Inhaling, I'm arching the pelvis back. And starting to breathe some movement through the hips. Feeling as the hips arch and curl. Feeling as the pelvis softens and expands. Feeling the energy through the womb as it softens and expands. Tuning into that connection between the tailbone and the top of the head. Bringing this movement to the full length of the spine. Nice long breaths. 3 more like this, just closing your eyes. Feeling this movement in your own body. One more time. One more inhale, lifting up. And then as we exhale, we're going to bow all the way back down to the earth. And this time as we inhale, we're going to come up to our hands and our knees. Coming into a neutral position on our hands and our knees. Tucking the toes, and then right away we're going to push the pelvis back to the heels. And I'm going to arch my spine. So I'm again in an arched position, tilting the pelvis back. Inhaling here. And then as I exhale, I'm going to curl the spine and circle the pelvis forward, down towards the earth. Inhaling, circling the pelvis back, arching back. Exhaling, circling forward, tucking the pelvis forward. Inhaling, arching the pelvis back. So I'm creating nice big circles with the pelvis. Now bringing all of our attention down to the circling of the pelvis and also the circling through the hip joints. So starting to feel that mobility through the hips as you circle around. Bringing the breath down into the pelvis. Feeling the waters of the womb spiraling and circling. Inhaling as you circle back. Exhaling as you circle forward. Really focusing in on the pelvis and the hips. And the opening through the womb. Continuing to invite in softness. Let's do 3 more this direction. Going as deep as you can right now. Most important thing is to bring the breath and the attention down into the pelvis, the hips, and the womb. Inviting in softness. Inviting it to open with the breath and the movement, the spiraling. And we're going to switch directions. Again, exhaling as we circle forward, inhaling as we arch back. Exhaling through the mouth, inhaling through the nose. Feeling the spiraling in the hips. The fluidity through the womb. No tension. Softening, opening. 3 more this direction. Really feeling the undulations of the waters. And then inhaling back. Just pausing here for a second, Opening up the pelvis even more. Dropping into the hips. Dropping the womb towards the earth. And then as we inhale, we're going to sit up on the knees into a kneeling position. If this position's too uncomfortable for your body, you can do the next sequence sitting down again. If you're on your knees, let's go ahead and first just open our knees wide, coming into this goddess pose. And in this pose, really feeling the pelvis opening even more. I'm even giving a little arch to the pelvis, opening up the tail and the back. And just feeling the stream of energy coming through the channel, through the pelvis, down into the earth. Connecting the openness of the pelvis and the hips down with the strength of the earth, feeling the safety of the earth beneath us. And we'll do 3 big unfurls of the arms here. Inhaling, opening the arms wide. Exhaling, fountaining the arms down in front of the body. This time as we inhale, we're going to pull the energy up through the pelvis, through the womb, up through the length of the body, expanding up through the crown. Exhaling, fountaining the arms back down. 2 more like this. Really feeling the energy and the breath being pulled up through the pelvis. Expanding all the way up, exhaling, fountain,ing the arms down. 1 more time like this. Opening up the pelvis, opening up the fluidity through the womb. Hands to the knees. I'm going to bring my knees back in slightly, and I'm going to start with an arch and curl. So inhaling, arching the spine. Again, tilting the pelvis back as much as possible, getting even deeper into the hips. Exhaling, curling. Tilting the pelvis forward, tilting the hips forward. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, curling. Going even deeper into the pelvis and the hips. Closing your eyes. Just going on your own rhythm. Really feeling the hips starting to loosen up now. Inviting in more softness with the breath. Encouraging more opening through the pelvis. Waking up the waters in the womb. Three more times like this. Nice long breaths. One more inhale, arching up. And this time we're going to exhale, bow down to the earth. Tucking the toes, we're going to push back into a little ball. Bringing the weight to the feet, keeping the hands on the ground. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly straighten our legs to come up to a forward fold position. Dropping the head at the bottom. And just pausing here, taking a few breaths here. Stretching out the back of the legs. Feeling the connection between the soles of the feet and the earth. And then giving a slight bend to the knees and rolling up through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up to a standing position. Taking a moment here just to close the eyes, feel the soles of the feet planted on the floor, and again placing the hands over the womb. Just feeling into the womb now. There's an increased sense of openness, softness, fluidity. And we're going to drop down in the knees, and we're just going to start a simple figure 8 with the hips. So pushing the hip forward, side, back. Forward, side, back. And just maintaining that long breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Keeping the hands on the womb for now. And again, just feeling this undulation of the womb. Feeling the waters, the softness, the openness. Keep sending the breath down into the womb, down into the pelvis, down to the hips. You can move your hands, give the hips a little rub. Just giving them some love, encouraging them to continue softening and opening, rubbing around the womb, rubbing around the pelvis, breathing that space and intention down into the body, feeling the hips, feeling the pelvis, feeling the womb. Nice deep breaths. And then staying very present with the hips, with the pelvis and the womb, we're just going to start an open exploration, finding all the different ways we can create circles, spirals, and waves through the pelvis, through the hips, really focusing our movement in this area, womb, pelvis, hips, moving from a sense of release, moving from a sense of softness, moving with gentleness and tenderness, continuing to send the breath down into the hips and the pelvis. Allowing the knees to stay supple to support you. Allowing the spiraling through the knees and the ankles. Feeling the strength of the earth beneath your feet. And then if you want, you can allow your arms to float up into space and just to respond to the movements of the pelvis. Allowing the movement to undulate up through the spine. But really staying present with the pelvis, with the hips. Circling, spiraling, waving. Breathing openness through the womb. Gentle healing. We're going to stay here for about 30 more seconds. Continuing to explore these feminine pathways, allowing the rest of the body to stay open and soft. Breathing. Again, allowing the arms to just respond and float. Lots of softness. Moving as slow as you need, as gentle as you need. This is really about nourishing the body, nourishing the hips, nourishing the pelvis, encouraging it to open and soften, and sending love into the womb space. One more deep breath here. And then stacking back up to center. We'll just do one big unfurl with the arms. Inhaling, opening the arms wide. Exhaling, floating the arms down in front of the body. Inhaling, pulling the energy up from the legs, all the way up through the crown. Exhaling, floating the arms back down. This time we're going to inhale vertically. Exhaling, starting with the top of the head, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Rolling all the way down. And then bending your knees, coming all the way back down to your little crouch position. And then coming back all the way down onto your knees, sitting up in your kneeling position. Keeping your knees a bit wide. One more time, rubbing your hands together. Placing them back on your womb. And we're just going to take one more moment here, circling, giving acknowledgement to the womb space. Circling the other way. Breathing love and gratitude into the womb, into the pelvis and the hips. And then coming back to a neutral position. And we're going to move into our regrounding movement. So as we inhale, we're going to open the arms wide, bringing them all the way up above the head. Meeting up the top of the crown, exhaling, sending the energy from the crown all the way back down through the body, rooting it back down, grounding, anchoring. 3 more times like that. Inhale, gathering. Exhaling, centering, grounding. Bringing that beautiful energy back down towards the core. Inhaling, opening. Gathering, exhaling, grounding, anchoring. One more time. And placing the hands back on the womb. And just taking a final moment of integration here. An acknowledgement for this beautiful body, the way she holds you. Your womb, the softness, the openness, the tenderness. Your beautiful open pelvis, the strength. And for your hips, nice and fluid and soft, no tension, no squeezing. And as you move through your day, just continuing to nurture these qualities through the body, to remember that you can always spiral and wave and breathe down into your body, to continue encouraging this beautiful flow within.